Greetings, enthusiastic learners. Today we are going to be reviewing rounding. In order to accurately round, we have to first know our place value. As you can see, we have a rather large number here. For many kids, this number would be hard to read, but it is not hard to read once you know the pattern. The pattern of place value is a simple ones, tens, hundreds pattern. Ones, tens, hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. Can you say it with me? Ones, tens, hundreds. That pattern repeats over and over again. The only trick to learning to read and write a large number like this is to remember what this comma says and this comma. Our first comma is the thousands place. So I'm going to put a thousands place there. Our second comma is millions. So I will move the millions over to there. And remember our pattern, ones, tens, hundreds? That pattern is going to repeat, but we're just going to add an extra word, either thousands or millions. So here we go. Ones, tens, hundreds. 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s. Remember the pattern, ones, tens, hundreds? 1 millions, 10 millions, 100 millions. So if we are to find the 10,000s place, we would simply have to find the tens place, ones, tens, but is the 10,000s. If we wanted to find the 100 millions, we could go to the millions comma and go ones, tens, hundreds to find the 100 millions. Now let's try some actual rounding. As you can see, there are blue numbers that are next to each one of my numbers. Those blue numbers represent which place value we are going to be rounding to. In this case, the first number, 56, we are going to round it to the tens place. In order to round, it is best to follow these simple steps. The first thing I need to do is find the place value I'm rounding to, in this case, the tens place. Remember our pattern, ones, tens, hundreds? Well, in this case, we only need to go ones and tens. Once you find the place value you're rounding to, circle that digit. In this case, I circled the 5. Then what you want to do is always underline the number immediately to the right or next to the number you circled. In this case, a 6. Now here's the tricky rule to remember. If the number you underlined, which I like to call the boss, the reason I call it the boss is because that's the number that's going to tell you what to do, whether you're going to round up or you're going to keep the circle number the same. If the number we underline, or the boss, is a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4, our circle number will stay the same. If our boss or underline number is a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, or a 9, our circle number will round up. So watch as I do it to 56. Since my underline number, the boss, is a 6, and 6 is right here, I know the circle number needs to be rounded up. So instead of a 5, I am going to make it a 6. That is step 3. The final step is all the rest of the numbers, however many digits are left over, will become zeros. In this case, there is only one number, so that number becomes a 0. So 56, when rounded to the nearest tens, becomes 60. Well, let's go a little bit faster. In the number 1,465, let's round to the nearest hundreds. Remember our pattern, ones, tens, hundreds. The 4 is in the hundreds place. So let's circle the number we're rounding to, the hundreds, and underline the boss. Remember, the boss is always immediately to the right of the circled number. As you can see by our chart up here, the boss is a 6. Since the boss tells us what to do, we need to round up. The 4 will no longer be a 4, but will be changed to a 5. The rest of my digits, the 6 and the 5, then become zeros. Any numbers to the left of the circle digit always stay the same. Let me say that again, they always stay the same. So the 1 will stay the same. 1,465 when rounded to the nearest hundreds is 1,500. Let's try another one. In this number, 57,854, we are going to round to the 10,000s place. Ooh, big number, tricky one, but not really if you remember our pattern. Ones, tens, hundreds, ones, tens. This is the 10,000s because of the comma. Step 1 in rounding is circle the number we're rounding to, the 10,000s. Then underline our boss. Since our boss is a 7, it tells us to round up. The circle number, therefore, will change to a 6, and the rest of the numbers, the 7, 8, 5, and 4, will all become zeros. 57,854, when rounded to the nearest 10,000, will round to 60,000. Let's try this next number. 5,784,340 when rounded to the nearest 100,000s. Now that you've seen the pattern, why don't you round this one? On your whiteboard, I would like you to copy down this number, then pause the video, and try rounding to the 100,000s. See if you can remember the steps. Then push play and see if you are correct. Okay, step 1 is to find the 100,000s place. The 100,000s place will be found with the same pattern we've been using. Ones, tens, hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. Because this is the hundreds place and the comma says thousands, this is the 100,000s place. Remember, step 1 to rounding is circling the number we are rounding to, in this case the 7. So check your work. Did you round to the 7? Next, underline the boss. The boss is always immediately to the right of the circled number. In this case, our boss is an 8. What does the boss tell us to do? Well, the boss, if it is an 8, tells us to round up. So the number 7 will now become an 8. The rest of our numbers become zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. If you got 800,000, you are very close to the right answer. Don't forget that all the numbers to the left, no matter how many there are, to the left of the circled number always remain the same also. 5,784,340 rounded to the nearest 100,000. The correct answer would be 5,800,000. Let's try one more. Go ahead on your whiteboard, try this one. Press pause down here, try it yourself, then push play to see if you are correct. Okay, let's see where the 10 millions place is. Remember our pattern. Ones, tens, hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds, ones, tens. I am stopping here because I am now at the 10 millions place. The tens place along with the million comma. I circle the digit I am rounding to. I underline the boss. The boss is a 3 this time. Well, let's look up at our chart. If it is a 3, we are to stay the same. We never round down. So the 4 stays the same. The rest of our numbers become zeros. A lot of zeros. And we're almost there. Don't forget that all numbers to the left of the to the left of the circle number also remain the same. Our correct answer now, 543,673,734 rounded to the nearest 10 millions, would be 540,000. Please now use your interactive worksheet to do the following problems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Round each of those on your own, then press play again to see if you are correct. Okay, Ivan scored 389,290 points playing for UCLA Bruins. I'm actually a USC fan, go Trojans. What is the number of points he scored rounded to the nearest 1,000? So we need to find the thousands place or the 1,000s place. Remember our pattern, ones, tens, hundreds, 1,000s. I will circle the 9. I then need to underline the boss. The boss is a 2. I no longer have my rule. If you need to go up to page 1, I could, but I think I can remember it now. The boss is a 2, so it tells me to keep the 9 the same. The 9 remains the same. The rest of the numbers become zeros. I'm almost there. Remember, all the numbers to the left of the circled number always remain the same. The correct answer is 389,000, or letter C. Next, I have the number 68,534,123, and I need to round to the nearest 10,000. Well, let's find the 10,000s place. Remember our pattern: ones, tens, hundreds, ones, tens. I am going to stop here because this is the 10,000s. I circle the number I'm rounding to, and I underline the boss. The boss tells me what to do. Since the boss is a 4, I know I need to keep the 3 the same. So I keep the 3 the same, and all the rest of the numbers become zeros. Almost there. Don't forget, the numbers to the left of the circle number always stay the same. The correct answer is 68,530,000, or letter C. For the next problems, I am going to go much quicker. I think you understand. This problem wants me to round to the thousands, so I find the thousands. I underline the boss. The boss is an 8, which tells me to make the circle number move up 1 or change to a 3. The rest of the numbers become zeros. Of course, all the digits to the left of the circle number remain the same. The correct answer is 53,000, or letter C. Number 16 says round to the nearest 100,000. Ones, tens, hundreds, ones, tens, 100,000s. I circle the 7 and underline the boss. The boss is a 4, which tells me to keep the 7 the same, and the rest of the numbers become zeros. The correct answer is letter G, 700,000. Almost there, 2 more to go. This one says round to the millions place. I have the ones, tens, hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds, ones, the 1 millions place, or the millions. I circle the millions place, I underline the boss. The boss tells me to keep the circle number the same, which is a 2. The rest become zeros. Don't forget your comma. And all the numbers to the left of the circled number remain the same. The correct answer is C, 12 million. Finally, and you've made it through, we have to round to the 10,000s place. Ones, tens, hundreds, ones, tens. This is the 10,000s place. I will circle the 10,000s, underline the boss. The boss tells me to keep the 6 the same. The rest of the numbers become zeros. And don't forget to bring down my 3. The correct answer, and your final problem, is 360,000, or letter H. If you got those last 6 problems correct, you know that you're well on your way to being a rounding superstar. Thank you for joining me, and I hope I will not see you back again.